since I think I have plenty of time for the rest of this.
Fiddled with any interesting technology lately?
Yeah, actually. I reactivated the robots and was able to modify their programming.
Harnessing the technology of the past and modifying it for your own purposes? That's just the thing. Tell me all about how it worked out.
It was awesome. It was robotic carnage. But I caused it, so it was the okay sort of carnage.
Well, I guess one thing about using the old tech is that it can feel a bit like playing God. But you're probably not supposed to, I think. Seems like a good thing to watch for when dealing with tech of any age. And it helps to pack a few pulse grenades, just in case. Here, have a few. Oh, and take my book on science. For some reason, I just can't get into the computer parts. But I've got the rest pretty much memorized.
Yeah, if you do the optional objectives, she gives you a big book of science as well. Also, the pulse grenade reward, and I think a lot of the other quantity-based rewards actually vary on your level. If you're level 16 or above, you get 6 pulse grenades. You probably don't care about this, but it's a little bit of extra insight. The last part of this chapter is about researching local history, right?
Yes, Rivet Cities in particular. It's the most successful survivor settlement around, but no one here really knows how it started. Of course, that's why it's important to know how a place like that succeeded. So I need you to go there and do some researching.
Well, I wouldn't really say it's the most successful. I mean, if you're looking monetarily, you could always say that the Tenpenny Tower is the best. How home of the worst quest ever. There you go, Moira Brown. I have and there's something I hate in Fallout 3 more than you. Don't take that too personally. Sounds reasonable. I'll research Rivet City's history.
Oh, now I can't wait for what you find out down there. And check around to make sure you're hearing the real deal.
Will do. It's always good to double check your facts.
Have fun out there, okay?
Also, one last note about the Robco facility quest. If you have the robotics expert perk, you can actually complete it right away, but only if you have it before you start the quest. Basically, you pick a dialogue option that is unlocked when you have the robotics expert perk, saying that you just write that section for her, which is a pretty nice touch, I have to admit. It's nice to see how the perks actually impact on dialogue options and other things and quest progression. So, nice touch, Bethesda. Anyway, moving on to Rivet City. Again. You know what? I give you guys way too much credit. Stop grouping around me. There's no need for it. I mean, what? Are you incredibly paranoid that super mutants or raiders are going to kill me? Because I can take care of myself. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been carrying, like, I don't know how many. I'm like a walking tank, basically. But anyway, to start off, you can always come in here, and there's a guy running the shop here. I suppose he's one of the town mayor type things. He's on the city council anyway.
Welcome to Potomac Attire. I am Bannon, proprietor and city council member. I carry discriminating attire for discriminating customers.
As I just explained, town council member. Let's see. I see you were. Oh God. I may as well time bullshit him. I see you're also a person of refinement.
Between you and me, keeping out the riffraff is good for business.
So, you're on the city council?
Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness, and I are all on the council. We meet every Monday morning. I can be very influential, if you know what I mean. Far more than Seagrave Holmes.
Whoever the Seagrave is, do you think he's a threat to your influence?
A threat? No, of course not. Well, maybe. He wants to replace me on the council. He's a shady character. I just can't prove it. Now, if someone were to find something incriminating in his room, well, let's just say I would be very appreciative.
There's an unmarked quest for you. Well, it's sort of unmarked anyway. But anyway, could I ask you about Rivet City's history?
Why, I practically set this whole place up. When I got here 12 years ago, it was just a handful of dead enders squatting in a rusted-out rowboat. Now I'm on the council, and with my leadership, we're the strongest settlement in the wastes. Of course, a few of those dead enders still stick around, but who'd want to leave?
Why do you call them dead enders? Wow. You mustn't need much of a speech skill. Wow. Hasn't Rivet City been around for longer than 12 years?
Well, yes, but it was hardly any place of importance until I arrived on the scene. That's all ancient history now. No one would ever care about it.
I would.
If you insist on wasting your time on that, you could try that bartending old crone down below, Belle Bonnie.
Very well then, I think I'll do that. Been a pleasure, Mr.
Come back
Bannon.
soon.
You see,
Anyway,
Benny?
when he says down below, he's referring to the Muddy Rudder, which is pretty much the bar around here. I'll just cut the video until I'm there, thankfully.
One of the new
And here we go.
I'm Belle Bonnie, and this is the Muddy Rudder. I'll tell you what I tell all the fresh meat. Don't start anything down here, or I'll have Brock kick your ass.
Okay, I could charitably describe you as feisty, and uncharitably describe you as a trigger-happy psycho. Let's try and be nice. Nice place you have here.
You must be drunk. Are you gonna order or what?
I'm just trying to be polite, lady. Have any stories about this place's history?
History? What, not enough shit around here already? You need to dig up more? Don't know if it ever had an official start. It's just been here forever. Stuck in the river and full of assholes.
Okay, so here we have a much tougher speech check, and one that's that makes more sense. Really? Because Bannon said he organized the entire place himself.
Huh. Why, that lying son of a bitch. He wasn't even born when I got here. Want to know this tub's history? Only person who really knows it is Pinkerton. And most think he's dead, or gone. He's holed up in the other half of the ship, and he don't like visitors. He'll set you straight.
Thanks for the information, but I already know about Pinkerton. Later, Belle.
I'll be right here when you get thirsty.
Why don't you
I don't
look
drink,
where you're
thanks.
going?
Also, as I explained, here's Budge. I have no idea how he made it here on his own, but yeah. And yeah, there's a bit of backstory around here if you take the time to look around. I don't think that's why is it a very easy lock? This place isn't very private. Oh well. Anyway, on to Pinkerton. And so we return to speak once again with the Wasteland's resident misanthrope.
Stay sharp. They're everywhere.
I assume you mean the Mirelurk hunters, right? Yeah, I had waded through a bunch of them. You think? Let's see. Tell me about this city's history.
What? I have better things to do than yak about those backstabbers up topside. Now get going.
Oh, come on. There's no way to there's no need to be like that. But you've been here for so long. You must know something.
I know lots of things, but you've got no idea about most of them. Now, get going before I stop talking and start shooting.
Oh, there's no need. Oh, come on. Seriously? Come on, tell me.
What?
Please. It's very important. It's for a book about the Wasteland.
Like I care what you savages read. Shove off and leave an old man to rest in peace.
You're a jerk, you know that? I hear you're the only one who knows the truth about Rivet City's founding.
Ha! Sounds like you've been poking around.
Oh,
all
that
night.
you listen to?
I'm surprised any of those reprobates even remember me. Maybe they still laugh about how they edged me out of the council back then. But you can set the record straight.
Okay, so that you react to. Jesus Christ. You're on the city council? That's hard to believe.
Well, start believing or start walking. Remnants of the Naval Research Institute cleared the Mirelurks off this wreck about 40 years ago. We were looking for new lab space, and this bucket of bolts just happened to have a well-preserved science bay on it. Everything else just grew up around that lab once we got it up and running. The science team was led by one H. Pinkerton.
So you used to be in charge? How'd you end up here?
That lasted until about 18 years ago, when those ambitious backbiters like Lee and her little team showed up. She came in with her big Purity Project pipe dream, and my whole staff started working with her, those traitors. She even took my seat on the council. By then, I was glad to leave it behind. But hell, if I'm leaving the city I made great.
That's really harsh, but Lee was really onto something, you should know. Do you have any hard evidence of all this?
Of course I do. A good scientist always keeps track of their data. Here, they probably don't even remember, but I kept the records of that first council meeting. Take them, if it'll put them in their place.
Awesome. I have to go now.
Don't let your guard down.
And now that we have proof, we can head back to Moira and complete the last bit of the Wasteland Survival Guide quest. And instead of cutting the video for the moment, I'd actually like to take a moment to explain a little bit about the quest, or rather how it ends. You can get a variety of perks for depending on how you end it. One is a perk called Dream Crusher that you get if you talk her out of writing the book in the first place.